Well, I'm very privileged this morning to be at a place that 2 months this week, on from this week, is going to be the sporting capital of the world because it's going to be hosting the Open Championship. And I'm standing here with James Bledge, universally known as Bledge, the Links superintendent,
Links manager.
Links manager. And we're standing in front of a hole that wasn't here the last time the Open was at Hoylake. It's the brand new 17th hole, and Bledge, you were saying this is going to be one of the most talked about par threes in world golf once the Opens have had a chance to show it off.
Yeah, I would definitely say that. I mean, if you look at it from here, it's what a stunning golf hole, and it looks even more amazing from above. But the Open's not won until the final group goes through this hole and manages to complete it. But it's not too brutal, I think, for the best guys in the world, for the best players in the world. I think it's manageable. It's all down to weather, where the wind's.
It's around about 130 yards, something like that.
It's 135, 136 yards, depending where we're going to put the tee markers that week. I mean, pins, yes, probably tucked in the edges, but to make the most of it. But I mean, the green's not severely undulating or anything, but all the danger lies 360 essentially. I mean, it's got a false front, so the ball can run back off the green or spin.
It's all shaved down. Was it 7 mil? You're saying
7 mil we cut our approaches at, yeah, and we won't go any lower for the Open, but they might be a bit drier, which make them firmer. Deep cavernous bunker, pretty much like a postage stamp at Troon on the right hand side. But yeah, it's a masterpiece, and it's going to have folk gripped to their armchairs, I reckon, come the Sunday afternoon.
And those big bunkers have got cameras in them, a bit like the 17th at St Andrews.
Yes.
So we'll see the grimaces when the ball doesn't come out first time.
I know. I can't see too many people going in the front. I don't know. But possibly the right hand side. But I mean, the prevailing wind comes from the grandstand there, so you might get some round the left. But again, these are the best players in the world, and there will be the odd slip up. There's got to be. There always is. You know, when the nerves get going and maybe your name's at the top of that leaderboard, you might get a bit nervous. But it'll be exciting for
And it's
sure.
nice to see a hole that's 130 yards long as opposed to 230 yards long. The return of the shorter hole. It's perfect for the likes of me.
Me as well. I think the pros would really enjoy that as well. I mean, they're probably going to get sick and tired of hitting rescues, 3 irons, 3 woods into a lot of these really severely long holes. But I think when you're playing golf, everyone will agree that they really enjoy playing the short holes. I always look forward to playing the short holes. I mean, for me, my dream golf course is a par 3 golf course. So.
You and me both. Yeah. Now, tell me a little bit about it. It was put in. How long ago was it put in? And it was Martin Ebert who designed it.
The Martin Ebert was put in a few years ago, just before lockdown, really, and growing through lockdown. Martin Ebert design. So it was built by E.C. Mahoney, his Golf Link Evolve. Jamie was a shaper, and the hole used to play up from behind us, playing down. It's been flipped around. You get up onto the green, you'll see beautiful views of the Dee estuary and across the Wales. The turf was taken from the last green and transplanted back and forward. The sand scrapes were obviously built, sand was mined to shape the green out. We've got fescue rye paths, all watered. And you can see the way now that the sand's actually blowing about, and the sand scrape that the marm's starting to move about and colonise and look a lot more natural now. So it doesn't look like it's a new hole anymore, it's starting to bed in nicely.
Well, we're talking about it being a new hole, but the hole's older than you are here. Your connection with Hoylake.
Yeah.
You arrived here, what, 18 months ago, something like that?
15, 16 months ago, yeah. So it was already in place. It was doing well when we turned up, but we've kind of worked on really trying to thicken the sward up behind the green to make it a bit less penal, so any ball rolling over the back doesn't go into the back sand scrape. And it's just matured and trying to kind of bring on the turf health, and it's pretty much matching the rest of the golf course now, so it doesn't stand out as much anymore.
Now, as I say, you came here from Cinque Ports down in the south coast with the prospect of an Open this year. What was your thinking? What was that the main thought when you get here? I'm going to be able to manage the course for an Open. Was that the main driving force behind you?
I think so. I mean, I'm pretty career driven, and I've always never made a secret about the fact that I'd want an open golf course, and as you know, there's not many that come up, so when they do come up, you've really got to go for them, and I went hard at it to make sure that I got the job. I had other reasons as well. You know, it's nice to move a bit closer to home. Kent's so far away, and also a great idea to kind of discover a new city like Liverpool, and a nice place to bring the kids up, and the house is on site as well, so I get to live on a golf course, which is a dream of anyone's, isn't it?
Yeah. So when you've obviously been thinking about the Open from obviously the moment you got here, but when did you start to seriously think about Open? Was that when you started, or has that got more and more important as the time's gone on?
The second I got the job, thought about it straight away. We essentially started making spreadsheets and getting my volunteer team in place straight away. I mean, your mind's racing. There's all this stuff that can be done during your notice period at your last place. Yeah. Sitting at night, if Jenny's watching the telly, I could be sitting just banging ideas into the laptop. So I know it was pretty much done straight away, and it's been constant kind of tweaks since then. I really am a big planner, so try to get as much done as early as possible. So then it's just little movements we need to do now. So I hate leaving things to the last minute, and I'll never do that. So I get on it fast.
But they are huge jobs now. From 10, 15 years ago they were big, but they're even bigger now because you do have an army of people volunteers to help, the bigger support team, other people, presumably teams that you're bringing in locally to help in things. It's enormous. It's not something you can really prepare yourself for until you're in it.
Well, we've got a really diverse team. I really wanted to make sure that every level of greenkeeper was in the volunteer team, from apprentices through assistant greenkeepers, deputies and course managers, and in that I wanted some of the best course managers around. I mean, we've got Lee Struck coming from Cabot Cliffs, Cabot Links. In Canada, so Grant Frogley's on the team from Ladybank, Matt Plested, John McLaughlin. We've got boys coming from Dornoch. But the most interesting thing is we did the apprentice competition, where I wanted to put 5 questions out there, and one of the first questions actually was about the hole, and it was we put it out on Twitter, and we made a Google sheet so they answered, and then everything came into the spreadsheet. Get rid of all the names of the guys and the clubs, so there was no favouritism. Picked the best 3 answers in the end, so there's 3 spots guys that won that, and the question was the hole is called Little Eye. If we were to rename it, what would you call it? So there was 5 questions like that. So it's great that 2 of these guys out of the 3 apprentices are going to be hand cutting greens for the Open. So I really love giving kids a chance and responsibility, and what an amazing opportunity that is for them to come into our industry instead of oh no, you can't have a shot at doing that. You can't cut a green at an open golf course. Like, get them in there, they'll be fine, and like try and take the nerves away from them, because it's the biggest stage in golf, but like everyone's capable of doing it, Yeah.
What is it you're most looking forward to for the week itself?
Sunday night. I think it's been a long time, but I'm looking forward to seeing what it looks like on telly on the kick-off on the Thursday. I'm looking forward to watching a bit of golf as well. I'm a golf fan, so it'd be nice. I want to see how the golf course plays. I'm hoping that the golfers really enjoy it, and then the team get the plaudits they deserve for it. And I'm looking forward to hopefully the new hole getting some good praise, and everything else. I mean, not only 17 but 18 is such an exciting finish as well. It's the tee's been brought back, which means it's a longer hole. The out of bounds comes more into play. I mean, the nerves will be absolutely flowing come down there, and there's new bunkers on 1 and 16. The Open's huge this year. I mean, you can just see looking around already, and look at the size of that grandstand up behind 15. I mean, it's absolutely ginormous. So digital display boards everywhere, these lovely little viewing platforms. I've just got yet to find out what beer they're serving in the beer tent before. I hope it's not Stella Artois.
Well, I will tell you, it's expensive, because remember from last year.
In the house it's not. I don't think I'll be drinking anything during the week, to be honest.
I was going to say, is there one thing that's making you wake up in a cold sweat? One concern, one thing that's giving you potential nightmares?
Nah, it's always really stupid little things, like we had a joke the other day that all the Mercedes cars have been bringing them in and parking them in a row, reversing them in, and someone's driven it in the other way, so they're all kind of out of kilter. It's wee things like that.
If that's the only thing that's bothering you.
No, I'm just joking. No, I don't. You do have your worries, but like a lot of stuff you can't control.
Like the weather.
Exactly. Things that wake me up in the night, because I live on site, is like on Monday, for example, we were planning spraying the fairways, and then we realised that I could hear the wind in the trees outside, and that's like 2:30 in the morning, and then that's you up. And every greenkeeper that's watching this will understand that. But no, as I said, compulsive planning, a good team, great facilities, and really good budget and stuff, and I don't really have any excuses here, you know. So we can't. I need to deliver, and we will definitely.
Well, talking about that Sunday, end of playing Sunday, you'll be up there on the presentation party on that Sunday, and the feeling of pride you'll have then will be, you couldn't bottle something like that.
That's the most thing I'm looking forward to, if I'm honest. You know, I think I've watched my peers in the past, Craig Both doing it, and I remember I'd take a picture of the telly screen and send them it, and Graham Beat, and like, look boys, you're on the telly in front of 600 odd million people watching, and I think for me it's the highlight of your career, isn't it? But I need to get to that point, you know. We need to get there healthy, we need to get there with a quality golf course, and it's a long way to go yet. It'll be a long 2 months.
Well, very privileged to be standing here 2 months from when it's going to be, and good luck with everything, and look forward to watching that Open.
So do I. Thank you. Thanks.